get a look at the Penguin, Jalen Waddle. And with him, any catch could be a big one. He's the NFL leader in touchdown receptions. It's the Dolphins and the Jets, next on Madden Football.
Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, a fun matchup in the AFC East, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in a perfect 10-0.
And it's not just that they're winning, it's how they're winning. All phases of the game coming together for this team.
The NFL's first ever Black Friday clash. The Dolphins and the Jets underway here at MetLife Stadium. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Play action, now it's Tua. That's going to be caught downfield by Hill. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 32 on the play.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's the veteran. That's Jeff Wilson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Another first down there as this one goes for 25. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
On the carry, this is Myles Gaskin. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Wilson will take this in for the Dolphin touchdown. So it's a pretty good season he's putting together running the football. That now 10 rushing touchdowns on the year.
And we know this is a passing league, and those numbers throwing the football, they seem to go up and up every year. But there's still something to having a reliable back you can count on in the red zone to bring things home for you. And that's what he's been doing all season long.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. On the return from his end zone, Malik Taylor. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. But the new-look Jets ready to go on offense, and it is the veteran Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
After years of flirting with the idea, the 4-time MVP finally found his way out of Green Bay this offseason, guiding himself to the Jets. We know he's already a Hall of Fame lock, but this is a chance to add one more crowning achievement to his resume.
Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start on the ground. Hall, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. The numbers for Hall in last week's ball game: 17 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense because you know those big guys up front are doing work. But now the goal is to get to 10. And don't for a second think that the defense doesn't know that. They'd like to do their best to keep him at the end zone in this one.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And here comes Berrios. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And it'll be Dolphin football. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is it allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them, no matter how many people are put in his direction. It just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. Loose inside the 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. So he stopped for no gain, and it'll be second down. You talk about this Miami defense. They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up?
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Here's Berrios. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll run straight ahead with Wilson. He'll take this to the 46. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. On the carry, it's Chestnut. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Cover one hard.
Tua sets up to pass it. And this is caught. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Dolphins take a 3-touchdown lead. Boy, still in the 1st quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 21-0.
Jets, nothing. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Taylor now from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2nd and 7 from the 20. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Rodgers now to throw. And his throw is incomplete. When you look at this defense, they enter play ranked 8th against the run in the NFL.
And that play right there shows exactly why they're so good against the run. Held the line of scrimmage, held the point of attack, and stuffed him for no gain.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open man downfield is Hill. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. A give. This is Wilson. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. A run straight ahead with Achane. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 21. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
They'll try and pick it up on the ground with Wilson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 43 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. This offense, #1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. They'll run with Chestnut. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 21-0 our score after 1.
Jets, nothing.
It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter. As they come up now, 2nd and goal.
Get set. Go ahead, TX.
They'll try again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and run with Wilson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. Sanders' kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. Another go-around now for the Jets offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Now Rodgers. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this 1st half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away.
If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. That's it. Just a gain of a couple there. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Tua going to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyler Kroft, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins.
Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Now Hall to start the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Emmanuel Ogbah finding his way to the ball for a big stop there behind the line of scrimmage.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
3rd and 8. To throw, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Fielded at the 33. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Miami's offense set and ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
To his throw, complete there to Berrios. And he's brought down. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off, and then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Running on first down with Gasket. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down.
Partner, we always talk about how important third down is, but I think first down is equally important because everything comes off of that play. If the defense wins the down, they are able to attack. If the offense wins the down, they might go faster, do other things, and change things up. That big play right there allows this offense to really get in gear.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
2nd down and 4. Now a give, running left is Wilson. Runs through the contact. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Jeff Wilson, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins extend their lead yet again. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Sanders on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And a nice play on the end of it, an 18-yard touchdown run.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. Time for another drive here for this Jets offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a play fake. Rodgers. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. taken in at the 22. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Hey, get set.
2nd and 10.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, 21 here. Step. Someone run hard. Hard.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
They'll let this go deep for Waddle.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers.
He completes that to Garrett Wilson.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Jets, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And the Dolphins are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in this second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one, and they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception, tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. After the turnover, it's Tua.
That ball caught. It's chosen.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
21G.
They'll run with Wilson out of the shotgun. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line.
64 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 15-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Now 2nd and 3. Here's Tua. Finding Waddle, crossing the field and bringing it in. Touchdown, Dolphins! Jalen Waddle on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins are pouring it on. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. New York ready to go again offensively.
And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination, but they find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Let's ride. Come on, time to play. Let's focus in on what we got to do here.
Throwing now is Rodgers. He's got a man, and that's Alex Erickson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Rodgers now on 1st down.
Complete on the crosser to Hall.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
They go with the empty set there, 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion caused defensively, and it turns into a big play.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Now 2nd and 9. They'll go again with Hall.
Oh, he shifts past him.
And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Rodgers. That is caught and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Here's Rodgers to throw.
Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Zerline's kick is up and through. So a conservative decision there, but it does put him on the board.
And I know hate it and the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago, and those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. It was the running back Jeff Wilson with the strong first half. He had a nose for the end zone as he wound up with 2 touchdowns on the ground in those first 2 quarters. The highlights from the first half, all one-sided. This one got out of hand early, and now you have to wonder how these teams will approach this second half, because this one's already close to being in the bag, if it's not already. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half, so where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Fresh out of the locker room. Of over 20.
Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's second down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Rodgers now to throw.
On the slant, he's got Hardman. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Rodgers. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Christian Wilkins in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
On the draw, it's Hall.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Hey, 626.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken at the 15. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. Jalen Waddle, the speedster wide receiver, brings out this offense. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore, because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's a well-designed play here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They're all going to run deep routes to put pressure on the safeties, and then they let their tight end cut his route off a little shorter and work toward the middle of the field. That's a difficult route to try to defend.
All right, come on.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
Open man downfield is Hill.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Another first down there as this one goes for 25.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Who's going to make a play, baby?
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 27.
Up the middle, Achane.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
They'll run, Achane.
And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line.
44 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
A run here with Chestnut.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami.
His 6th touchdown on the ground, number 7 overall. And the Dolphins just continue to roll. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Taylor now from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. New York's offense back out there and set to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Trying to find Breece Hall out of the backfield.
And that'll bring up second down. And again, it's Rodgers. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
On 1st down, right back to Hall.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Here's 2nd and 7.
Rodgers going to throw. He completes it to Wilson. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a third down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Here's Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and they'll get. But this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where...
He's got a man, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 75 yards. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll start on the ground. Hall.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Rodgers' throw here going to be caught by Wilson.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Hall ought to give up the middle.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6.
Now Rodgers. There's a short one caught by Uzama. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
And the Jets, first down.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers.
Over the middle and complete to Wilson.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the Dolphins' 37-yard line.
Now Rodgers. Catch made. Erickson over the middle. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's going to be taken down right at at the 10-yard line. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up second down. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete.
And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Great job of tackling there to prevent the first down.
One of the toughest skills in football, open field tackling. A lot of times one-on-one against a shifty receiver. He got it done in a nice way that time.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they'll get back. Remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Jalen Waddle running out, and that means that the Dolphins ready for another drive on offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The drive starts with a run from Achane.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll run straight ahead with Wilson.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Brings up 3rd and inches.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. On the carry, it's Chestnut.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
A give. This is Wilson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
At the 47-yard line. A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 1. Tua going to hand this to Gaskin. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
They'll run with Chestnut. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Sheds off the tackle. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Every player I know tends to play the game in his mind before it actually happens. There's no way he thought that at this stage of the game, this would be his first big run like that.
Yeah, but it's got to feel for him like the floodgates open, a sigh of relief. Now we'll see if things can open up for him.
See if it can continue.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll hand it off to Wilson. Running right through him. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now, we all know that an offense coordinator and a quarterback, they're aligned at the hip. But when you've got a runner who can get you that kind of yardage, that guy's invaluable.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
2nd and 9. A run straight ahead with Achane.
And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning.
Here's Tua.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told.
And it was finished off by a Jalen Waddle touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it.
Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive.
And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets...
.35. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 41 yards. Rodgers now on first down. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Christian Wilkins able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
And the pressure gets to him again. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing now is Rodgers.
Getting the football to Davis on an out route.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
First down. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. It'll go as a sack and a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 2nd and goal. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
It's now 3rd and goal.
One final try now for Rodgers. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was safe. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So for Miami, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year.
And they'll get another road date next week when they take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for the Jets, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.